Pelosi, impeachment is worth losing the House in 2020. Speaker Nancy Pelosi indicated on Saturday that successfully pursuing impeachment of President Trump would be worth losing Democrats' House majority in 2020. By the way, this article is shared by Edwin. So, Edwin, thank you very much for sharing this article. So, Pelosi says it's worth it to just lose the House in 2020. It's worth it to lose the House to impeach this president when there's an election coming up next year. Let me tell you something. Nancy Pelosi is not dumb. She's not. She's not. I know a lot of people, when I tweeted out this article, and when this article has been circulating around Twitter, people are like, how can she be so strategically tone deaf? How can she be this dumb? She is not tone deaf, nor is she dumb. She's out of touch, sure. She's very, very out of touch. It's because she's a cajillionaire. But she ain't dumb. What she did do here is she showed you her hand. She showed you her cards. She showed you what she's holding. And here's Nancy Pelosi's deal. Nancy Pelosi is out for Nancy Pelosi. And she's not the only one. Adam Schiff is out for Adam Schiff. They're all grifters. They're just grifters with different letters next to their name. Donald Trump's a grifter too. He has an R next to their name. His name, they have D's. So Nancy Pelosi, in her mind, there's a good chance that the next president is going to be a Democrat, or even scarier to her, a progressive. Even scarier to her, if Bernie's movement is so loud that they can't cheat us again and Bernie becomes the next president, that's really scary to her. It becomes less scary to her if Democrats lose the House, because then you can just get away with not doing anything. Hey, Republicans have the House. What can we do? Sorry, Bernie. So, of course, she would rather spike her favorability as much as she can through this whole impeachment thing and then lose the House later. That would be the best case scenario for her, because Democrats can lose the House. Her gravy train is not threatened. But if a progressive's in the White House, or even just the Democrats in the White House, and the American public is demanding progressive policies, which is what would happen, that does threaten her gravy train, doesn't it? So Pelosi's not dumb. Pelosi just showed you her hand. She showed you where her priorities are. Her priorities are save the status quo and make sure that the Democratic establishment's gravy train doesn't go anywhere. And screaming about impeachment and losing the House in 2020, especially if presidential, a Democrat or a progressive wins, that's in her best interest. All right. So that's why she said that. That's why she said that. There's no way any institution could be that strategically daft. There's just no way. It's because winning's not their first priority. The Democratic establishment, winning is not their first priority. Their first priority is maintain the status quo, keep the donor class happy. Their second priority is prohibit progressives from ever getting into office, which kind of goes into priority number one. Third priority, maybe we'll beat a Republican or two in the process. As long as those two things are held tight, maybe we'll beat a Republican or two in the process. And that's what happens when you have a one-party system like what we have here in the USA. All right. Okay.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it